Hi there ladies, it's Manisha here, welcome back to my channel. So today I have for you some marble nails with some foil flowers. These are all the products I'll be using, and as always I'll list everything for you down in the description box below. I'm going to be using some foil nail arts by She Modern, and these ones happen to be the water decal ones. So first up I'm going to do the marbling. So I'm using the 3 OPI nail polishes that I've got, that beautiful minty green colour, the turquoise and the grey. So I'm just putting a little bit onto my stamper. I've already painted one coat of the green polish just as a starting point on my nails and just doing a little bit of dabbing, and I'm going to do that on my ring finger too. And all the other nails I'm going to be painting on that beautiful copper colour by Ruby. It's just a store brand one that I found here in New Zealand. And I'm going to be adding some of the orange glitter to those nails that I've got the beautiful copper colour to. So what I've done is I've applied a second coat, and while it's still sort of at the tacky stage I'm sort of dabbing it onto the tips of the nails just to add a little bit more sparkle to it. And that orange actually blended in perfectly with that nail polish, it looked just right. So I'm going to let that fully dry, and I'm going to be moving on to some stamping. So this is a beautiful copper colour by Born Pretty Store. It's one of these stamping polishes. It is a favourite of mine. I really do like the colour. It's very rich, and it just happens to match perfectly with that polish that I've used on the other fingers, and it's going to match perfectly with the foils that I'm using too, as you will see here. So there is a sort of like a protective layer. You get that with most water decals, and you just remove that before selecting which foils you want to use, and then you just trim out which ones you want. So I'm going to be going for these flowers here that are in the centre. Now I couldn't decide between the smaller ones and the medium-sized ones because I had an idea in my mind of what I wanted to do, but I just couldn't work out which was going to be the best size for my nails, and so I'm just sort of measuring them out here, working out how many I'm going to fit on a nail. Then I decided to go for the sort of larger of the two and just do 2 flowers as opposed to 3 of the smaller ones. So when you're cutting these out, just cut them out as close as you can so there's not too much overhang. And because of the length of my nails, I'm just going to get away with 2 of these. So I'm just going to trim them around, and you can use a pair of tweezers to hold the decals in place while you do this part. Now when I do water decals, I always just use a shallow dish which has just got a little bit of water and a cotton round. I find this is the easiest way for me, and you're not fishing around in a cup of water trying to get your decals out. So they just have to stay there for about 30 seconds, and then you'll know that they're ready when they'll just slide away from the backing paper like you can see here. So I'm just going to use a pair of tweezers just to hold them and apply them to the nail. Now these are going to stick pretty much straight away wherever I place them because there's minimum water on there, but if you want to have the option of moving them around and positioning them where you want them, you can add like a droplet of water onto your nail, and that'll give you the option of being able to move it around. But I sort of like the way I do it, and for me it just seems to work, and they seem to stick really well into place. I don't have any curling or lifting or anything like that. So now that I've got the first one in position, I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the second one, and then just pop it in place where I'm ready to, where I want it. And with the size of these, I think they kind of fitted just right on that nail. Second one's always going to be harder to place than the first one for some reason, because you're sort of trying to line it up as best as possible. So once you've got that one down, just sort of dab it into place and clean up anything you need to around the nails. And because I've used foils, I'm just going to use some water-based top coat just directly onto the foil. I'm not sort of doing it on the whole nail. I'm going to let that fully dry, and then I'm actually going to go in with my cheap top coat, which is the Daiso brand, only because I'm going on those glitter nails and I don't really want to contaminate them contaminate, sorry, my top coat, so I always tend to use my cheaper one for that. Always wipe your brush off too before popping it back in the bottle. And I'm just attaching a couple of the not rhinestones, what are they called? Studs, turquoise coloured studs, because I thought that would sort of tie in all the nails together. And as you can see which nails I've done it on there. And then I'm going to be topping everything off with a coat of Seche Vite, and that'll give everything an ultra glossy top coat. Now with rhinestones and studs and things like that, if you can avoid popping a top coat over the top of them, it's, you know, probably the best thing you can do, because it won't dull anything. If you want longevity, probably best to use glue or something like that. But that's pretty much the design done there. So I do hope you like it. The colours are quite an unusual mix, but I sort of felt like golds and coppers and turquoise and blues, and they always go well together in my eyes. So I sort of like this mix and match mini. As usual, leave any comments and questions down below. If you like the video, definitely give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. It's free to do so. And once again, thanks for stopping by, and hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Bye for now.